should know. This is our news topic for the day. We've been talking about Afghanistan for the last week, so I figured I'd do an Afghanistan news topic and kind of elaborate on something that I didn't really talk much about on, when was it? Last week on the episode. I kind of mentioned the name Ahmed Massoud, but I think this is a name that everybody should know. And I think this is a name that's going to be immensely popular in the next 2 years. Or in the next few years, because this guy is the leader of the resistance movement in Afghanistan, kind of the Mujahideen 2.0. So who is he? He's the leader of the biggest anti-rebel group in Afghanistan. They're kind of located in this northwestern corner of the country. It's called the Panjshir province. I apologize if I completely butchered the pronunciation. But yeah, it's like the northwestern province. And basically what Ahmed Massoud is trying to fight for is just a democratic country and, like basic civil liberties that often Afghanis don't have. And that whole vibe. And that is what he is going for. And unfortunately for Ahmed Massoud is he has a little bit of resources. During this whole Taliban-US war, he was stockpiling resources. He had stockpiled resources from the 90s because he figured that this would happen again once the US left. So he has a little bit, but he doesn't have enough to take out the Taliban, who are like a fully fledged, fucking 200,000 person army that, is all over the mountains ready to booby trap you at any time. Like he has a decent amount of resources. He doesn't have a lot. He doesn't have a crazy amount of resources or anything. And so that's what it is like he's basically writing op-eds in like opinion editorials in all of these various newspapers. Like I'm talking like New York Times, like every like big publication in the United States and everywhere, like around the world, France, particularly France. He's writing these big op-eds basically begging people for help because he doesn't have the resources that right now to be able to take out the Taliban. And that's fair. I mean, that's really his only move at this point. Like what are you going to do? Like he's trying to recruit Afghanis, I guess. But a lot of them are skeptical of him because they saw what happened with the Mujahideen and what happened in that whole situation. And it wasn't great. And how the Mujahideen basically turned into a form of the Taliban. They're like, whatever, like we're just going to be in an infinite cycle of this. Do I believe in Ahmed Massoud? Like I like to assume good intentions. Like I'd like to assume that if he ever, got the chance to take power in Kabul, like he wouldn't, resort to fucking terrorism. But does he have a democratic structure? I don't know. But is he the biggest leader of the rebels right now against the Taliban? Yeah, he is. And he's going to be the figure that's basically fighting and trying to sort of recruit help from all sorts of different places to get this, to try to take down this massive terrorist organization. And we'll see what happens. It's going to be tough, but we'll see what happens. And he is very polarizing. And I think his main goal right now is to get help from the French. That's his one thing right now in Afghanistan is getting help from the French because they have a prior relationship with him. And yeah, that's his plan. They have a prior relationship with his father, and there's like a street in France named after his father because he's a freedom fighter and stuff. So yeah, that's what Ahmed Massoud is up to. And I think that's a name that you guys should know and do further research into. I thought I would just shine a little bit of light on it. And if you haven't checked out the Afghanistan episode, go check it out. It's really good. So we got